What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, pretty much we're gonna have some Helldivers 2 going on in the background. Helldivers 2, if you hadn't played it already, is either for one or two reasons. One, you didn't know it was out. Two, you can't get into the servers if you did know it was out and you paid your $40 to get it on in, and you still can't get into the servers. But with a game like this, and knowing that they didn't expect what the hell was going to happen with it when it came out, all can be forgiven. In time, the servers and stuff and whatnot will be taken care of. The issues will be resolved. The Arrowhead seems like they're trying to do their best to meet this issue head on, and it's not that you can't get in the game. You're just probably going to have to sit and wait for a little bit in queue. There are currently about 450,000 plus players that are trying to play the game. Majority are PC. And of course, you got guys like myself and my crew who play on PlayStation 5. And then you hear a lot of all these talks about Xbox and whatnot getting ready to jump into the fray as well. So we're all out here trying to do our part. We're all out here waiting. And in the meantime, y'all go ahead and enjoy this video while I dive straight into why I really want to talk to you guys about about gaming, man. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean when I say about gaming, I'm talking about gaming as in how it is in the modern day. It is not fun. Gaming is, in my opinion, at this point, a chore. It's not like it used to be. And feel me on this, ride with me on this one. You remember when we were young, man, and there used to be games that were coming out fucking every 6 months, every 3 to 6 months, and you'd be either in a situation where you could afford that game when it came out, which back then games were like $40-$50, and then, you know, whatever. Some of the lower, the mid-tier games were $40. Some games were 50. And it was high tier games at one point that was $49 or $39. Either way, games were cheaper than they were ever in the history of gaming, in my opinion. And some of them were even cheaper than that, just because people didn't take to them like you think they would. Now, with that being said, there was a point where you didn't know if you were going to be able to be one of the people who had that game. You know what I'm saying? Whether you could afford it or whether you even got a copy of it, because back then physical copies of things was what we had. You remember the cartridges? We all had Sega Genesis cartridges and whatnot, and of course you had PlayStation, had CDs. So yeah, this is all it was all a thing that worked together. The CDs, physical copies, is what made pre-orders a thing. If there was digital gaming back then where everything could be downloaded, like it became like an option was for PlayStation 3, then, you know, there would have been no need for pre-orders. That was one thing, and I stand on that hill. Pre-orders are useless unless you're just trying to get some pre-order bonus, like a skin or whatever they offer you in a game or whatnot. The pre-ordering is for the birds. There's no need to pre-order a game anymore, because it's not like you can't get a hold of it, whether it be like me, if you got a digital PlayStation or whatnot, or you just like digital gaming and you got access to a dish. But nonetheless, the games are not made like they used to be. You know what I'm saying? They're not made for performance or whatnot, they're not made for performance. They're mostly made these days for quality. The computers, the PlayStation 5s, the Xboxes and whatnots that make games look so much more realistic, that's what these consoles are made for nowadays. They're not made for a game to play properly and whatnot, and it doesn't help that online gaming is as toxic as it can ever be, since nobody can seem to play a PvP game without some type of cheat. You know what I'm saying? So all of these things that I'm saying right now are just some of the things that are wrong. That is wrong with gaming these days. You not to mention that the developers don't make it any easier by offering us games along the line of I'll say it, Skull and Bones, which is the new pirate game where you sell ships and whatnot. I played it. We played a lot of the beta and whatnot. We bought the game. I like the game for what it is. I like the game because it gives me the option to be able to sail the seas on a ship and have fights at naval combat at sea against other ships and whatnot. And I would not mind coming up against other guys who were in PvP sessions. I wouldn't be so, but that just because I wouldn't mind it doesn't mean that I'm not weary of it. I hope that PvP never becomes a real thing that we have to deal with it too much in Skull and Bones, other than certain occasions that make it fair. Because that's the whole thing about PvP. Shit ain't fair. To hell with not being able to play the game. If anybody gonna sit there and play the game and learn how to sail and do all the stuff you can do in the game, in any game, the least you can do as devs is make it to where it's fair for everybody. These guys I'm sitting here watching as I'm streaming this video right now, go check them out. Hybrid Harry, Itachi, Joker. I'm watching them as I'm streaming this video right now, and I'm telling you, it's stressful watching people play Warzone because it's such a frantic and stressing situation. It's stressful situation is what it seems like to me. I don't play Warzone. I can watch it, but I don't play it. But from what I'm seeing from you when you're running from building to building, worrying about distant enemies or enemies that you can't see. But shit, the gunfights Harry has got in, he's completely lasered these guys. But nonetheless, you have to worry about, okay, shit, how far is this motherfucker out in the distance or whatnot? And not only just that, does he have a aimbot or a hack? Now, apparently, that's what we talk about. We ain't talking about Warzone. We talk about the fact that nobody can seem to play the motherfucking games these days fair. Which is why PvP is fucking toxic. Which is why in turn online gaming is toxic and whatnot. And that's another part of reason why gaming these days suck. Okay, as not to mention that, like we said, back to the devs, they do not do what they used to do. That passion's gone. People, man, why don't make games like you used to? Because the people who was making them, they had passion for it. They actually cared about making the game fun and making it. They knew what gaming was supposed to be about. Gaming ain't supposed to be a chore. I mean, it ain't a job that I can get off my 9-to-5 job, come home, and decide that I'm gonna go ahead and do this other job, which is attempt to game. Like, you got a plan to play Call of Duty, dude. You can't just jump on it no more anymore with your boys or whatnot. Because if you go and you jump up in there, your chances are y'all finna run up against a gang of sweats. So you trying to play modes that you don't like, you just don't like the game at all. Don't do that. Don't play something you don't like, guys. If you ain't like that game, if you don't like that game, don't play that game. Y'all know me. I don't play nothing that I don't enjoy. And I definitely ain't finna stream it for y'all and whatnot as well. But I can say that there are some glimpses of hope in gaming, you know what I'm saying? Because as far as I'm concerned, I've been gaming my entire life. I'm 42 years old. Gaming, I say, has got me through some of the most crucial times of my life, my down times of my life. And I'm very appreciative of the hobby that it has become gaming, that I've put so much money into throughout my life. But here now, this is a very crucial time for gaming. You got to literally pick and choose the games that you're gonna buy, because don't nobody have $70 to drop on a video game that's not gonna be good. And I can only speculate so much, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm not one of those guys y'all giving the game away for free to, so they can come and tell me, hey, it's good, it's worth it, you need to buy it. And that's not me. I'm not that guy. They're not giving me free copies. I'm gonna have to pay $70 for these games to tell you that they're good or not. But this one right here that you're looking at in the background, $40? Deluxe edition $50? Well worth it. A very fun game. PvE, you and your friends get together and y'all Starship Trooper the hell out of it. And have fun in the process. With killing each other on accident mostly. From calling using crazy OP weapons. As Beard would say, everything seems to work. I mean, look at this. I pull out my grenade launcher and I lay waste to machines that's supposed to drop. And because they've been blown up. The game's fun. It's a learning curve for those who don't seem to understand what it is you're supposed to be doing. But it's pretty simple and straightforward. And that's another thing I like about it. What sold me on the game was the little nostalgia that it gave me for one of my favorite movies, Starship Troopers. Because that's what I look at it like. Because that's exactly what I feel like when I'm playing it. We drop out of them ships. We hit down to these bugs. Right now, we're going up against the automatons. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about the idea that the entire community is together working in the game as one. So you can always dive in on somebody or you can play the game solo. They're not forcing me. They have a store. Yes, they do have a store. But there's nothing in it that you can't earn from playing the game. Yeah. If this game would have been free, I would have been glad to give them $40 for some in-game content. But being even at $40, I'd still give them some money for some in-game content because guess what? The game's good. Excuse me. And that's the whole thing about it. There are only so many of these little things in these kind of games that are available to us. Everything else, it's a gamble. A $70 gamble. That's your entry fee for trying to gamble on whether the games that you play these days will be good games or they'll be bad games. And trust me when I say that I feel you when you say you cannot afford to buy a bad game anymore. And that's the whole point of my video. I'm sorry it took me 13 minutes to get there. And maybe I was already there, but the idea of what I was trying to say needed some reinforcement. 13 minutes of it. But man, look, guys. I'm not saying that you don't need to play what you gonna play. I've always been a strong advocate of playing what you pay. You paying for that shit, not me. Play whatever the hell you want to. But we gotta stop with this patting motherfuckers on the back for things that they don't deserve. And on that note, on the way out of here, I'm gonna speak exclusively to 2K games and Take-Two games for you motherfuckers and what y'all trying to prove with this WWE 2K24. You're not fooling nobody. It's literally 2K23 with a roster update, a graphical fidelity update, and it literally the same thing. Stop it. Stop patting these motherfuckers on the back. Dink, Brandon, all you motherfucking wrestling content creators out here making it seem like this is it. Putting new shit in the game, taking new shit out of the game, bringing it back and calling it new shit again. Bro, get the hell out of here, okay? WWE 2K24 is not worth $70. It's not worth $119. No edition of it and whatnot. As far as I'm concerned, the game should be, again, one of those games that are free. People say, oh, it wouldn't work on that kind of model where it's free to play. Man, you don't know. Give it a shot. Because at this moment, ain't no need to pay $70 a year for a game that ain't doing nothing but updating the roster. People can do is content creators out there that create wrestlers better than the developers are putting in the game anyway. So you might as well go ahead and just, let them do the jobs that y'all don't want to do. Because that's literally all y'all doing. Y'all letting the community do the work y'all don't want to do. And on that note, WWE 2K23, you don't need to buy. If you made it to the end of the video and you caught that, I appreciate you, man. And your boy will be back on the stream. And I got a question for you. Should I bring the stream back to Bearded Beanie? Should I take the stream to the Beanie Shack like I've been doing? Or should I go ahead and just say fuck Tube and head on back on over to Twitch and do my thing, man? I do miss y'all, man. I do miss the enjoyment of streaming and whatnot. But real life has taken a very huge step in my direction. And I got to do what's best for me and my family. So like I say, that's why I drop uploads and whatnots when I do have the time. And right now I have the time to come and do this as well. So, yeah, man, y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you hadn't already, man. And I will get back with you momentarily. But like I said, to answer that question, where should I go stream at, man? Here on the Beanie Shack, here at the Bearded Beanie channel, my original channel. My second channel, the Beanie Shack Gaming. Or should I head on over to Twitch, man? Y'all be careful out there. Stay real. Stay true to yourselves, man. And, yeah. Y'all take it easy. Peace.